Hello, Cosplay World! We're in for a long set. This is going to be 12 videos. This is my Barioth armor set that I made for TwitchCon. It was actually an armor set that I've been looking forward to doing for a long time. If you guys know me, you know I don't like to make, basic bitch armor. I like armor which isn't just plates or isn't just leather. It's got a lot of things going on, and boy does this set fill that criteria for sure. It's got just about everything you could expect from cosplay crafting, except for, say, there's fur. Yeah, no, there's a lot. Well, maybe makeup and, like, hair. Yeah, there are just all sorts of facets in this costume. So, I'm going to start this one off simple with our basic prop sword. This is an accent sword, a short sword that is on the piece. I also have that gigantic switch axe, which is awesome. But I'm finally getting this tutorial up after it's almost been a year, so that's not the worst. A lot of my tutorials are so backlogged, but I've been getting on top of them and putting them up. Okay, so if you guys don't know, I make a lot of my static props that don't do anything. They're just a solid piece of something out of medium density fiberboard, MDF. And I have on this sword 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch. The 1/4 inch is for the blade, and the 1/2 inch is sandwiched on each side of the blade into our grip and our guard. And the reason I use it is because it's pretty cheap and really easy to use. It's about, where I am, $12 for a 4-foot by 8-foot sheet of material. Yeah, it's so cheap. You can get it with most standard hand tools. Your power tools and all that obviously are not going to have any problem with that, and you can sand and sculpt them easily as well, which is why the handle has all these angles on it. I just cut a slight angle in, and then I sanded and used my planer and my rasps to sculpt it in this little angled grip or guard, and it's really rectangular. It's not fun to hold. It's because grips are supposed to be round, but it's cool looking, I guess. And then we're going to be making a aluminum tape blade to make it look realistic, so we're going to need a guard. That's what this black plastic is. This is 1mm ABS, which is not too hard to work with. We are going to be heat forming it and wrapping it around the blade to make a protective cover for it. And here you can see I was sanding and finishing up the edge. You want to make a nice edge on the material. You don't necessarily need to make it sharp, you just need to make it look like an edge so that it is like, oh, that's where the sword has been sharpened. As you can see, the handle has been painted black. It's just black acrylic craft paint. Very cheap, not something I'm going to show you because it's just black paint. One thing that is awesome about doing your first coat of paint is figuring out exactly where all your errors are. So then you go back and you fill it with your wood filler and sand it, make it nice, and pick at the details for all of eternity until it's absolutely perfect and you lose your mind. But the aluminum tape is kind of finicky, so you want to be careful where you pick your lines. Here I'm putting my line right down the center. That's because the blade at the very top is about 3.5 inches, and I only have 2-inch wide tape and 3-inch wide tape. So no matter what I chose, it would have been too thin and there would have been a line on there somewhere. So I decided to put the line in the center as if it had kind of two honed edges that are on the blade, as it may be designed. The sword is totally decorative on the costume. You never see what it actually looks like, so I just went and said, hey, there's a honed edge down the center. You call me on it, whatever, deal with it. So you want to be very careful when you're doing aluminum tape because it's reflective, and any kind of wrinkles or tears or imperfections, bumps, bubbles will 100% show. One thing I see a lot is someone would make like an axe head, and that's obviously way too wide to get done with one piece of tape, and they put stripes of it, and it's super noticeable because it reflects off the light. There is sheets of it, like the size of printer paper. I would suggest looking for those if you're trying to do large areas. In fact, I think I have a roll that's a foot wide roll that's like 6 feet of it, so that's amazing. When it's not sanded, it looks super reflective and chromy, not realistic, so you hit that with a really fine sander or sanding sponge and just tarnish it a little bit, and then you go down with a more gritty sand and do that with the sand on the edge, and it creates two tones of texture, which makes it look more like a realistic sword. If you've seen any of my realistic sword tutorials, you've seen it. Boom. And if you want more, just look up any of my realistic sword tutorials, and you'll get into more detail on that. So, right now we are making the pleather coating, or the pleather cover for our plastic sheath. I'm just straight up punching through the plastic and the pleather that I've covered this with. The sheath, the plastic, is wrapped in black pleather and with a ostrich skin tip. I didn't use any fancy templates. I just took a length of it and cut it until it fit, and then if it was too loose, I tightened it up a little bit I ran it through with the machine and did it again until it was nice and snug and looked nice. The heads of the tips of the sheath is just basically an arrow head shape with tabs on the back for the snaps to attach to, which I then snapped onto the pleather before I even tried to put it on the plastic, because there's no way you're getting through that. The reason why I wanted to punch through the plastic is because I want it to support the weight. Again, one thing you need to do when you make a aluminum tape sword is protect that finish, because if it goes, it looks terrible and it's immediately apparent it's not real. And I'm flailing with my hand in case you guys don't know when I'm narrating. We have a decorative strip along the top in ostrich skin, and that's going to be sewn to the pleather on the top. We're also going to be mounting the teal marine vinyl underneath of it, and we're going to be attaching that so you can't see the edge of the straps. One thing that does kind of suck is that the costume itself has a billion things, and those things have weight to them, as all objects tend to do. So actually getting them to sit on the costume nicely and not pull on the jacket and have all the straps in the right places was a challenge to work out in physics. You'll see in the next video when I'm yelling out the daggers. The daggers are still kind of a pain in the ass. So yeah, there's our strip that we've sewn down and made a nice finish edge across the top, and that's going to seat nicely against the hilt of the sword, the guard of the sword, and give it a bit of a cushioning. I made sure to lacquer the shit out of the handle, because that thing was just going to be bumping up against my arm, the sword in my hand because I'm left-handed, and the sword's on the left side, all of the daggers. It's going to be bumping up against a ton of stuff. So I made sure that that was all reinforced and protected. Plus it's shiny and looks good. It's super angular. You want to see that. That marine vinyl was sort of a pain in the ass to work with. Sorry to say. I ended up going through quite a bit of it making the gloves. You can see there. We'll go into that later. But I hope you guys check those out. We have 11 more of these videos. There's tons of parts I'm going to have. As you can see, bits of detail shots at the end here. But I hope you guys stick around. Next up is going to be the daggers that are going to go around the side of the costume. Check it out. 2 times to all. Hurrah! Over at finalcosplaycore.com, there are hundreds of tutorials, pictures, walkthroughs, all that awesome cosplay goodness. Hope you check it out. Good times to all. Hurrah!